Hi, and welcome to A Better Place. Today we will be bringing you part 2 on our discussions of education at the Hillside Christian Schools. Stay tuned, we will be right back. Hi, and welcome back to A Better Place. We will be continuing our discussions with Ms. Sum and Ms. Stevens about the education at the Hillside Christian Schools. Ms. Sum and Ms. Stevens, welcome back to A Better Place.
Thank you.
Okay, well, a lot of discussion has been ongoing about the fact that you're actually starting with a second campus. Can you tell us a bit about that and how it got started, where the idea came from to have a second campus?
Sure. Many years ago, we were outgrowing our present campus in St. Peter's, and we needed to expand. And we had different options, and all the options were being explored. And just when we were about ready to start with the construction of a 8 classroom on the new acquired land behind the school, we got word from USONA that a new piece of land is available for school construction, for an FO school, foundation-based education school. And we said, well, great. And he said, since you are about to start expanding and the government would have to pay for the construction, now we can get it, through USONA. So that didn't take very long to agree with, and that's how it all began. Within a year, everything was put in place, the signing took place, the bidding was all behind. We got a very good contractor, that's Ms. Tallison Construction Company, and he is doing a fabulous job. So anybody who passes there now can see in Cahill, the building is almost finished. Now the road work is being done. And that has suffered a bit of a delay, but again, as I said, God is good. I still believe that we will be able to open on the 13th when school starts, that the roads will be finished, and if not, then we will find a way to get there.
Right.
The building is ready. But there are so many people, Angelique, that played a major role. Our island government has always been very supportive of our schools. Then we have Derpy, where the name I mentioned, Angela Decker,
Right.
she really saw the growth and she saw our dedication. She saw our teachers working so hard to really master the concept of FBE. And they had training every year to help the teachers, and it has been really good. So USONA, of course, played a very major part, and then VROMI with Kurt Ruan, they were all great. And then, of course, we had a great architect, Prim Consultant. That's why you see the beauty of that school and the colors and everything.
Right.
And so many other people behind the scene
Right.
played major role in that fulfillment of that dream.
Okay, so now that you're going to be opening a second campus, I also heard that you're going to have a campus where they teach English and a campus where you teach Dutch. Can you elaborate a bit about that?
Well, first of all, it's important to know that the two campuses have two different names now. It's not Hillside Christian School. There's an addition to that. The campus in St. Peter's will be named after the president of our school board, which is Helmich Snyder's Hillside Christian School. And the second campus in Cahill will be called Asher Stevens Hillside Christian School. All right? Which are the two founders of the school. And the campus in St. Peter's will be completely Dutch. And of course, English will be taught as a second language, but the main language of instruction will be Dutch with our Principal Spratt. And then in Cahill, that would be our English campus, where the language of instruction will be English with a strong component of Dutch as a second language. Mm-hmm. And the principal at Cahill is Mrs. Curiel, Clara Curiel.
Okay, so now you're going to have two campuses, one where you're going to be teaching Dutch fully and English. Yeah. Could you explain us how exactly is that done? Because if you have the campus that's fully English and one is fully Dutch, so you're going to have in the Dutch, only Dutch will be spoken, so there'll be absolutely no English spoken whatsoever?
That's the idea. That would be the idea because, of course, to learn a language properly, you should be able to not just read it, but if you communicate in it, write it, read it, spell it, then you can really become proficient or efficient in that language. So the idea is to have each campus speaking that language of instruction and using it straight through.
And can I ask, how was it before the split is going to happen? Was it that English was taught, in the first 2 years, and then you move into Dutch? How has that been at the school?
We had to start in the mother tongue, as they said, English, and then there was transition in the third grade. And then they would go slowly over into Dutch. It was very confusing. We like to start at the very beginning, Angelique, and that will be with the 3 years old. And right now we are putting the program together. The principals are working throughout the holidays. There is no summer vacation for us. They are putting the program for the preschoolers for the what we call the early childhood in the Dutch program. I'm checking on what needs to be ordered, what materials are still lacking. We like to be completely ready to teach these kids in Dutch. And if it's possible, I said I would even grow tulips in the gardens to give the right atmosphere to create it. Right. But I like to see on the playgrounds Dutch music and all that.
Okay, good. So once again, we've come to the end of our first segment. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue to discuss, your plans for your new campus and also the former campus where Dutch and English is concerned. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
For those topsy-turvy nights, a diaper that suits your baby. Huggy Snug and Dry with all new Leak Lock. Absorbs faster to help stop leaks. Parenthood, chaotically beautiful. Enjoy it.
Are you looking for that prescription that the doctor just gave to you and you can't find it at no other pharmacy? Well, the Orange Grove Pharmacy is where you should be. Orange Grove Pharmacy, we carry a wide range of American and European prescriptions and drugstore items. We also do personal care products. We offer friendly services and 24 hours emergency delivery. Charges may apply. We're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m., Saturdays, 9 to 1 p.m. Orange Grove Pharmacy, supporting a healthy lifestyle.
Hi, and welcome back to A Better Place. Ms. Stevens, so let's continue talking about your new campus and what are the plans. What are some of the plans? Is everything going to function as normal? Do you have regular hours from 7:30 to, 1 or 12:30? How is it going to be?
The time will change, Angelique. Not only that, but There will be drastic changes. We believe in a complete new beginning. And we like to break the cycle of every year hearing the passing rate is so miserable, so very dismal, and all those. That will no longer be the case. We want our children to accomplish. We want to see results. And we want to see the evidence during the whole year. How are we going to get better results? I believe in extended school hours. So we will start at 8 o'clock, but for the 2 higher grades, the school will continue till 4:30 with a warm lunch and all that. How we are going to do that, Angelique, I do not know. But I have, I still have faith, and I know if you believe in something, then it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. The answer is somewhere there, and it's maybe in a future program I will come and make an appeal to certain companies to help us out, because it's for a good purpose. We believe that with extended hours, the morning hours will be for academics, the afternoon hours will be the first hour and a half homework under guidance of the teachers, and after that will be sports, music, craft, and all those wonderful things. And I really believe that we have some great athletes among us. Mm-hmm. And Mr. David Forsythe has already been checking out the gym today. We have a beautiful state-of-the-art gym that we will utilize on a daily basis. And our kids have the swimming pool of Raoul Illich right there. We are going to make use of that. The running track is there. We will have sprinters. We're going to have tennis players, because our gym is also a tennis court. Wow. Yes, they can learn to play basketball, softball, what else?
Swimming, dance.
Yes, dance lessons, all those will be available. And we are also planning to ask the Learning Unlimited and the St. Dominic School for their high school students to come and help with the tutoring in the afternoon. Children learn from each other, and this is how we are going to be all winners.
Which is good, because I know already that the St. Dominic School has a community program, and I also believe that the Learning Unlimited also have a community program where they actually encourage their children to go out and help in different areas. So I think that's a very good idea that you have to get them involved. You mentioned longer hours, which you only mentioned it for the upper grade. So you're talking about the group 7 and group 8.
Yes.
That it's going to be extended out. But you also said that school now will start at 8, so you're going to stop the 7:30?
Because of the busing,
yes.
We are going to start a bit later, but we will continue. The children can be picked up at 1:45?
45.
Yes.
Okay.
So at 1:45, parents can pick them up. But for all the other grades, like even the early stimulation, those 3 years old up till age 10, the parents can choose if they like them to stay at the school or the community school. Then it's on a voluntary basis.
Okay, so they're not
Yes.
obligated to
No.
have them stay.
But we are going to be very, very adamant about group 7 and 8, and to most parents, we hope they will cooperate, because it's going to be for their best.
Can I add to the extended hours? It also gives us the opportunity for the students to be motivated. I believe a lot of times our students don't do as well as they should because they lack motivation. Mm-hmm. But imagine now if the school offers so many programs beside the academic,